Good afternoon, traders. I wanted to bring you a quick Tuesday afternoon update and talk about a few things since my last post. If you'll remember in my last post, I talked about an impulse up on Bitcoin, and then I said we'll probably slide back down here to this nice little area of confluence and then have another second impulse during the course of this week. And I'm hoping that we enter this target area, although that's not something that I have determined will happen for sure yet. That's simply my hope. We do have a big line of resistance up ahead that we have to conquer, and I want to talk about a JPOW threatening more interest rate hikes. Will that happen or will it not? Let's jump to the chart. So the area of resistance that I have been mentioning is on the top side of this FUD triangle. I've drawn this triangle here and showed it to you a few times. We are currently in the FUD zone. That's what I call this sideways range of movements. However, every time we come down and hit this support, we've hit it now 7 times over the past 2-3 months. And so it has definitely been very strong support. Every time we hit that, though, that's like a jackhammer hitting cement. And sooner or later, it's going to crack, it's going to break, and we will drop through it. So my hope is that we don't test that one more time, because if we do, it could spell trouble. Up ahead of us, overhead, we have this whole level right here. This is acting as very strong resistance at 44,868. That is my precise level, but it's more like 45,000, somewhere around there. So if we can break to the top side of that and confirm on the daily, that is a very bullish sign. And I'd love to see us up in that target area. That's when I know the bulls are here to really take it for a run again. All right. If we can't break this resistance overhead, we will probably drop back down, test that support again, and that's a bad sign, guys. At that point, we could come all the way down to 30,000. Whoops, dragging the wrong one out. Do this again. I've got an auto. Here we go. 30,000 right down here. And should we break that, which I'm very skeptical the bears have any strength to do after any move down. But if we did, we would go to 24. That is the target down on this proposed head and shoulders, which I drew many moons ago. Wasn't quite sure if that's actually a head and shoulder because of this ill-formed, malformed right shoulder. All right. So let's take a look at some of the other charts and see what they're telling us about the Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin dominance is right in this range that I drew about 3 months ago. And I said we would fluctuate inside of here. I wasn't sure if we'd hit the support or the resistance first. Looks like we've hit our support. Now, if we break this support, it's definitely a sign that Bitcoin will continue its trend down and break below this support. All right. It is a sign that could happen. If this support holds on Bitcoin dominance, then we will proceed up and test our heads on this area of resistance, which is the descending purple trend line. All right. Ethereum is looking strong. We're coming up to test the 100-day moving average. Curious to see if we actually will break that or not. But Ethereum has been very strong. Another bull sign is we broke into the top side of this descending purple trend line. Remember I said in the last post that I made, which was a written post, it wasn't a video, said for the first time I'm starting to see signs that the bulls are going to try to turn the corner here and take us back up. This is one of those signs. All right. Another one here on total. We have broken to the top side of this triangle. All right. This is a lead indicator that Bitcoin could follow suit and do that next. Break to the top side of this FUD zone triangle. All right. So that's a very good sign that total has broken to the top side of that, as well as testing the 100-day moving average, testing resistance there. And I expect that it could break that. And again, that's all hugely bullish in my opinion. These are lead indicators. All right, let's jump to the dollar, see what the dollar's doing. I won't spend more than 10 minutes on this video. All right, let's talk about JPOW and his threats to increase interest rates. I have mentioned in many of my videos, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we see one rate hike this year. I think it's 25 basis points. That happened. All right. So the first part of my prediction is already correct. The second part is there will not be any more rate hikes. Why do I say that? I think JPOW is going to use this war as an excuse. Now, we currently have sanctions going on Russia. And I mentioned in my last video, I don't think the sanctions will impact Russia the way we, the US and Europe, thinks they will. I think, in fact, that sanctions may hurt the US and especially Europe more than it will actually hurt Russia. All right? Now, sanctioning any country is an act of war, and that is something that the U.S., along with many countries, has encouraged their peers and their allies to do. Unfortunately, this will be detrimental to the U.S. economy. So therefore, I think JPOW will see that in the future, as if he doesn't know that already. Let's just pretend he doesn't, all right? Biggest conspiracy I always say is to think these people are as stupid as the media makes them out to be. That's the conspiracy. Fox News and CNN, they operate on conspiracies. They each accuse the other in a partisan sort of way of being dumb, of being stupid. But that is a conspiracy. I refuse to believe that. I do not dwell in that realm of absurd and outlandish conspiracy. These people that lead us are not that stupid. But anyways, JPOW will use this war as an unanticipated variable that he has now being thrown into his calculations regarding the future of the dollar and the U.S. economy. And so I think he will use that as an excuse not to raise interest rates. All right. So that is what I project here. The dollar, however, I think will remain strong because it will be measured against other global fiat currencies, right? The VIX has come down very nicely the last week and is now dropping below the 100-day. That's a very good sign, all right? Silver and gold have also come down. That's kind of another way I measure fear. Now, with the VIX being down so much, remember this is the predominant indicator here, priority indicator. The Dow and the SPY, the NASDAQ should all be moving up, and in fact they are. SPY, S&P has just conquered the 200-day once again. NASDAQ is forming a bull flag. Dow has come up above a level, and QQQ is above the 50-day. So my expectation, I mentioned it in one of my past videos, is that we range sideways between these two red lines here for all the way through summer, really. That's my expectation. That's my biggest expectation. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not, but that's where probability lies at this point. All right. So that's the scoop here, and I'll switch to our Bitcoin chart and do our outro, and then I got to get moving on. So my suspicions, as I've stated in past videos, are that sanctions on Russia will hurt the US and the EU more than it will Russia. If true, JPOW will not raise interest rates. However, the dollar will remain fairly strong against other currencies, of course. The U.S. market will suffer, but crypto will fly. This could, guys, be the decoupling of Bitcoin from the U.S. stock market. Enjoy your day and peace.